most people look at traveling in terms of vacationing or having to take some time out to go see family. Well, in our industry, if you really want to build the business big, that becomes part of your daily routine. I remember Donald Trump saying this. He never takes a vacation because he enjoys doing what he does so much. So he incorporates how he travels into what he does for business. Now, for me, fortunately, I absolutely love and adore what I do to earn a living. I'm around people that I love and care about and work with, I'd say 98, 99% of the time. And most people aren't that fortunate. So I'll just give you what my month has been like, okay? My first meeting actually was in Los Angeles, California last Thursday. So instead of me flying out of Jackson, Mississippi, where I live, I actually flew out of Atlanta, and I'm going to explain why. So here's what happened. 2 days prior to me leaving for Atlanta, I had a meeting in Biloxi, Mississippi. I drove down, did the meeting in Biloxi. Wednesday morning, I drove back to Jackson, Mississippi. Talked to the kids, talked to my wife, unpacked, repacked, hopped in the vehicle, and then drove to Atlanta, Georgia. Okay? Get to Atlanta, Georgia, meet up with my business partner. We have a small meeting at 1:00 a.m. in the morning. I get 2 hours of sleep. I pack back up, hop on an airplane, and I fly from Atlanta, Georgia to Los Angeles, California. Arrive in Los Angeles, California on Thursday morning around 11 a.m. Collect my things, have a 1:00 lunch meeting, finish that meeting, have a 4:00 meeting, and then we have a 7:00 big meeting. Okay? So that's Thursday. From there, we have meetings on Friday, have a major meeting on Saturday morning. And then as soon as the meeting is over with, I get on an airplane and fly here to Las Vegas, Nevada, because I have a banquet to be at 7:00 Saturday evening. Okay? So I'll be here in Las Vegas, been here in Las Vegas since this past Saturday. And I got to check. Today is Wednesday, correct? So I had to go to Phoenix, Arizona Monday night for a Tuesday morning meeting. Did that meeting, came back from Phoenix. I'll be here for the next week or so, and then I'll fly back to Atlanta next Tuesday, and I'll be in Atlanta for 4 days. Then I'm back in Jackson, Mississippi at home. I think I'll arrive back at home on the 27th or the 28th, and I have a meeting on the 28th. Now, I know for some folks, they're like, man, that's a lot. That's extreme. But let me give you the payoff. I really didn't work in November and December. See, that's holiday season for everybody here in the United States. So here's what happens. The kids get a week off for Thanksgiving. Guess what? I'm off with the kids. They get two and a half, almost 3 weeks off for Christmas. Guess what? I'm at home the entire Christmas holiday. So that's the payoff. So I know a lot of people sometimes look at what we do with all of the travel involved sometimes, and they're like, man, I'm not sure if I could do that. Well, some people don't understand that for me, I can't get up at 8:00 in the morning and go punch a clock. So in order for me to keep from punching a clock and having somebody to tell me when to go to the bathroom, having somebody to tell me when to go to lunch, having somebody to tell me when I can get off work, which also dictates where I live, what kind of car I drive, and all that kind of stuff, I'm willing to put in the hours of travel. That way I have all of my time, whatever my time is. And here's the thing. I love traveling. The industry of network marketing, one of the most powerful industries in the world. And I love going back and referring to certain quotes that some of the people that have mentored me from afar have said in the past. Donald Trump also was asked about the industry of network marketing. And I forget what talk show he was on, but he was on a talk show, and they asked him, if you could do it all over again, what would you do? He said, instead of me spending all the money on the real estate and all the different things that I've actually done, I would find me a good network marketing company and I would work it. And the crowd was yelling, boo, scams, that's a scam. And he said, that's why I'm sitting here being interviewed. And that's why you all are sitting in the audience. And one of the biggest misconceptions about the industry of direct sales or the industry of network marketing is that it's a big old pyramid scheme, and that's what scares most people away from this industry. But what most people don't understand is that it's the strongest structure to business known to man. Just about everything that we do in business and in life is built on a pyramid structure. One of the largest pyramid business structures is our government. Okay, what about the school systems? And I'll give you probably one of the biggest is Christianity. When it's based on one particular person and then it trickles down, correct? So most people don't understand the industry of direct sales and understand the industry of network marketing. And most people don't realize and understand that word of mouth is the absolute best form of advertising, but it is also the worst, potentially. Now, what it meant for me, when I got started in this industry, some odd 15, 20, when I was introduced to the industry, some odd 15, 20 years ago, I just looked at it as a way for me to make some extra income. And I've tried several different businesses that have actually gotten me to this point. But just like all industries in business and other businesses, you have to learn the industry and you have to grow. Well, in the very beginning, I knew for a fact that I could introduce whatever it was I was selling to a couple people, and if they liked it, I could show them how to introduce it to a couple people as well. Okay? And that's how the industry actually works and operates. Well, for the company that I'm involved in now, we've actually evolved. We've taken some of the best concepts from a lot of different major companies. Some of these companies have been around for over 30, 40, 50 years. And we've been able to master what it is that we actually do. And instead of me looking at it as a way for me to make some extra income, I looked at it as a way for me to just change the history of how my family looks at money. See, me punching a clock and going to someone's job, and don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I have absolutely nothing against jobs. Okay. I just realized that for me, I was never going to be able to earn the type of income that I actually wanted or be able to live my dreams and have all of the time that I actually wanted. Well, in our industry, if I introduce my product to enough people and show these people how to introduce this product to enough people, see, there's no amount of money I can't make. I explained to my children a long time ago, it's not about the size of the dog. It's about the size of the fight in the dog. What are you passionate about? It could be basketball. It could be football. It could be checkers. It could be chess. Doesn't really matter. But what's going to drive you to get up early in the morning? What's going to drive you to study longer and more than the person sitting next to you? What's going to make you work your body and brain to you completely exhaust? What is it that's going to drive you to that point? And it has to be something internal. It has to be something that makes you want to do something completely out of the norm of what everybody else does. So in terms of passion, it has to be something that's going to make you wake up in the morning without an alarm clock. It has to be something that's going to keep you awake long after you should be asleep. It's going to make you forget about eating. It's going to make you forget about some of that gossip you may be hearing or some of the TV programs that you may want to watch on television. It's going to be something that you can buy into internally, and it becomes a part of you. So here's what happened. We always say if you can do anything 21 days straight, it no longer is a goal, it becomes a habit. Okay? And when you're involved in setting goals, you can always see the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. Okay? And depending on how strong the goal is, it's a consistent and constant reminder that you have to get up, and that one thing that you get when you hit that goal should be driving you to accomplish the goal. Also, some of the worst goals you can set are the ones you hit. You follow me? Because some people set their goals too low. So I've always had the attitude, you know what, I'll reach for the stars, and if I fall somewhere in between the earth and the moon, I think I'm in a pretty good space. In the very beginning, it's tough. It's tough. And I'm a hands-on dad. Up until about 4 or 5 years ago, I was the only coach my kids had in every single sport they played. Me and my wife sit on boards for the PTA. I'm constantly in the classroom reading books. So I'm very hands-on, and I'll never forget, you ask your children, what do you want to be when you grow up, and all that kind of stuff. One of my sons said, well, he wants to be an attorney. They all want to play professional sports. Okay, that's always a dream of a child, of a young man. So, but my oldest son, I'll never forget, he said, well, Daddy, I want to do what you want to do. And I said, well, why? He said, because you don't do anything. But in his mind, I didn't. Because I took them to practice. I took them to school. If they wanted me to take them to school, I would come to the class and read books to them. I would be the coach. I was always there. But isn't that how your kids should look at how you operate? Shouldn't they, believe that they're rich? And rich is not, I don't mean in a monetary state. I'm talking about in a frame of mind. Your kids, if they want something, they deserve it, they should get it. So in the very beginning, when I really decided that I was going to switch my focus completely and build this business, I had to have a strong conversation with my family and just let them know, look, I'm not going to be able to coach every ball game. In fact, I'm going to miss some of the games. I'm not going to be at every recital. I'm not going to be able to watch you sing all the time. I had to explain to my wife, I can't go to every social function. But what we'll do, we'll sit down, we'll look at the calendar, and we'll decide what things I have to be at, and then I'll decide how I travel and where I work. And in the very beginning, it's a little rough. I'm a proud father of 5 boys right now, ages 16, 13, 12. I have a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old that are going on 35 and 36, if y'all follow me on that. And the 2 little ones, they run the house, or at least they think they do. And so in the very beginning, when they're used to dad being up before they get up, they're used to, one of us picking them up. So when I'm traveling, my wife has to take care of all of that. And it can be a bit tough. So it was a process. But they understood what the payoff is. Okay, dad may not be here every single day. He may be gone a week to 2 weeks out of the month, hit or miss here and there. But you know what? He's around, 2 or 3 weeks at a time in some cases. You know what? For this particular recital, he's not going to miss it. It's just mandatory. Certain things I'm not going to miss. And because they've been able to see that there's a certain level of success that comes with the hard work, they now understand that, I need to work as hard as my dad does. Because kids don't have a whole lot of responsibility. The responsibility is for you to be a great kid, do your chores, mind your parents, and get good grades, right? Now, when you get to 16, 17, we'll get you a small, part-time job just so you can understand what work is like. Well, my kids understand they want to go to work, but only for a short period of time. They want to work for themselves. They want to be able to create jobs. So they read more now. Most importantly, they've picked up on some of my habits. Therefore, their friends start to pick up on their habits. Good kids like hanging around good kids. So they'll look at some of their folks who may be doing something that isn't right. They don't even go in that direction. One of my biggest pet peeves is how young men wear their clothes now. Young men, pull your pants up. Okay? Well, my kids look at boys who do that the exact same way we look at it. They believe in their pants being pressed and there's no wrinkles, They believe in tying their shoes up. Just something, wearing a belt. Small, simple stuff that they understand later on in life that could decide whether you get a major scholarship or a big-time job at a big-time law firm if you're an attorney. I grew up in a single-parent household. My mother raised me. So for the young man who doesn't have the male role model, because sometimes a male role model can be living in the house, sometimes the male role model can be living outside of the house. First and foremost, get on your knees and pray. That should be something that you do daily. Do things right. Understand that this is the only life you have. There are no redos. There's certain mistakes you can't make certain mistakes and expect to get a second chance or a second opportunity to redo it. Okay? Remember, what comes out of your mouth can't be taken back. You have to be impeccable with your words, even as a young man. Always remember, it's lights, camera, action. Even when you think someone's not watching or listening, there's always someone watching or listening. Be a leader. You don't have to be a follower. Learn how to lead. And if you're going to follow somebody you wouldn't mind trading places with. So for the young man who is looking for mentorship, seek out a coach. Look, and you don't have to have someone physical in front of you. I have mentors like Robert Kiyosaki, who I've never met. Like Donald Trump, whom I've never met. These are guys, I've read their books. Martin Luther King, I've never met. But I understand and know his story. I have other people that have mentored me along the way through my process. And I've been able to take some of their beliefs, some of their philosophies, the good stuff, and I've been able to make sure that I get a small part of it in me. So for that young man that's in the situation that I was in, some 25, 30 years ago, growing up in different areas of the world, do the right thing. Don't get caught up in what's going on in the streets. Mind your parents. Make sure you do what your parents tell you. Mind your elders. Be respectful. Understand what we had to go through to get you guys to the point of what you can do and where you are today. And I promise you, if you do the right thing, the right things will happen. But set some goals. If you have a goal to be the best ball player, understand the work ethic that has to come behind it. Look some people up that are doing what you want to do. If you want to be an author, look some authors up and find out what they did in order to get them to that point. You got to go to college. Do like I did. Talk to a counselor. What do I need to do to get myself in school? How can I get this schooling paid for? Because I didn't have any money to go to college. So, but most importantly, do the right thing. Do the right thing. I am Lanier Carter Price, and that's my chapter and verse.